What's up, everyone? Alastiir here. We haven't been back to do content in a long time, but I'm gonna try to get back into it. Real quick intro. These is just the thoughts of Friggy and myself on everything we heard about 3.9 during Exile Con. Some pretty great stuff. So yeah, but a bit of technical difficulties in this one where I lost Friggy for like half the video. So it's gonna be a bit of a thing where I talk on my own and then I tell him what I said later. But I cut most of the issues out, so it shouldn't be too weird for you. Anyway, hope you enjoy, and I'll try to get you some more content out. Have a wonderful video. Okay, well let's start with what's coming sooner. So let's start with 3.9. So I'm gonna go back on the Conquerors of the Atlas page because personally that's what I'm most hyped for out of the league and just the general expansion content. So we learned a lot. We learned that there's a new set of bosses, 4 guardian kind of things, and 1 new mega boss, which are based off of the old Rogue Exiles. I'm assuming the 5 ones except for Scion.
Yeah.
Probably. There's a new map progression system we're starting in the center. And okay, so now there's quadrants. So how many quadrants? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 zones in the Atlas. And each of them have these like socketed things that we can put in. And it seems to level up all of the maps and like unlock more of them as we upgrade. Which is also kind of interesting because it means I guess that means depending on which guardians we cross, assuming the guardian drops the orb of his color, which would make sense, you'll have to cross all 4 guardians to be able to upgrade 1 zone. So it's going to be like, do we want to upgrade 1 zone first to try to get it like as high tier as we can? Do we want to unlock multiple zones and kind of upgrade the whole Atlas?
I honestly have no fucking clue.
Also,
like I don't know what the strategy is going to be like efficient with the new Atlas, especially because it's so different.
Yeah. So there's 8, and each need 4, and he said it's on average about a 6 map thing, meaning with a buffer that we're not certain of how much of, the average amount of maps you should complete to fully upgrade your Atlas should be 192. Assuming like a 2 map buffer, we're looking at like 160 to 230 about. Which means it's slightly longer than the previous Atlas in terms of map completion if you were running every map once. But this is on top of having to run every map, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like we've actually kind of doubled almost the progression time from a league start to a completed Atlas. To a maximized level Atlas of just everything's tier 14 minimum.
Yeah, I mean the goal is going to be to rush, I think, honestly, to tier 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like for that quadrant.
Yeah, just rush 1 quadrant. I could see that, but it's also so like just off of random look, are the quadrants relatively as populated? Like the bottom left quadrant just doesn't look like it has as many maps as like the center bottom. Like it's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, so there's like 7 more maps in this quadrant. So this is going to be something that is going to be interesting to see once we have the final version of the Atlas. Unless this is the final one, but I'm not sure. because you might want to focus on a quadrant that just has generally better maps and or higher density. The sextant change is really cool as well. The fact that now you apply sextants to quadrants rather than to radiuses. So, yeah. Anyway, overall, I think I really like this map change just because of it essentially. So, I have no idea how the hell the influence system is going to work. But I like the fact that we're no longer having to do Elder Chasing.
Yeah.
And Elder Shaver Bing Pong. I think those mechanics were really just unfun after the first couple times, and I'm glad that they're gone. I'm really kind of sad that Elder and Uber Elder are going to be rare because I really enjoyed the Uber Elder fight in general, and I'm kind of sad I haven't done more of it. I might randomly do more of it before next league now, just because I know it's not going to be as common. But overall, I think it's a good change for just the enjoyment of mapping as a whole.
Yeah. Like, I think it will be a more enjoyable experience instead of it being, okay, we have to buy all these fucking maps so we can get the fucking Guardian, so we can get the Shaper, so we can get the Uber Elder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now it's going to be like, okay, if we felt like it, we could literally just pick the fucking maps we like, and like everything else is just because we want the 1%.
Yeah, I mean, you're still gonna want to, but that's another interesting thing, right? Is that it is, if you want to upgrade all your Atlas and have them all high level, then it is way harder to actually lock what kind of maps you're gonna drop. Support gems plus. Now this is just a huge amount of power creep. We're gonna have basically better than max level gems, new max level gems. What I enjoy from this a lot is the fact that it's gonna give us a lot of like XP to actually grind towards. Because right now you play the game, and by the time you're level 90, you hit like 90, 91, you hit like max level of all your gems and support gems. And the thing is, it's not that long to get to level 90. Like, the amount of experience you need to get from 1 to 90 compared to, like, 90, 91, 92, 93 is just exponential. I mean, I think 90 to 91 is 1 to 90, I'm pretty sure. So, the fact that we're going to have these new gems, which are going to be rare, that, like, keep on progressing our character, and we keep on getting experience and leveling, is something I'm really looking forward to, personally. Because it kind of gives us that sense of continuous progression, even if we've already technically finished of like first set of leveling. It's almost like we finish our first set of leveling, we get our like stop on our progression, and then we can unlock a new thing, and then we unlock this new step of progression, and that's something I enjoy a lot. So yeah, really happy about that. These new era items, so we're basically getting better Exalted Orbs that are guaranteed to get a really good mod out of a pool of really good mods. Now, that doesn't mean the mod's going to be good for you, but it's yet another range of crafting, which can be even more complex because you have, like, the Shaper gear, like here, that you can then exalt a... What is this? Like, Adjudicators, maybe? Whatever, one of these, like maybe a Hunter's mod on it. So yeah, it's really interesting. You're just gonna have these like extremely unique, powerful, hard to obtain rares. I think it's awesome. Don't get too hype about them would be my like first reaction. I'd just be like, hold back a bit on your on your expectations, curb your expectations. There you go. Because not a lot of people are going to see these bad boys. I wonder how common these Exalted Orbs are going to be. It'd be really cool if they were pretty common, but I doubt they will be because they're so strong and you just want to keep on using them. Bow rework, I think everybody was expecting. They've been mentioning that they've been keeping and pushing back bow reworks league after league after league, and we've had melee, we've had summoner, we've had caster, we've had mines, we've had a lot of things being reworked. So bow work is good. The new skills, ensnaring arrow looks like a really powerful slowing down tool, so it's cool in utility. I don't know how its damage is going to scale. It might scale quite good. I mean, 149% as it currently stands is pretty good. We're going to have to see it played to really see more of it and also see the patch notes numbers, but it looks quite cool. I just enjoy it even in general. Like, it's the kind of skill I would see myself slapping on a 2-link or something, or to just slow that. Like, the fact that you can have 25% less movement speed that stacks 3 times on a boss, you can slow the shit out of a boss. That's pretty dope. I like that. Barrage support and Arrow Nova support are cool new supports. They're just going to make playing bow skills more fun. So I think those are both very good. They're very needed, because the problem is we had a lot of bow skills, but really there was only a couple bow skills that had a bit of a, I'd say, special identity. A lot of them just felt like shooting a projectile. This like gives more options for a lot of those different skills, and also just generally lets you choose, okay, I want, something that's just going to melt a boss, or I want something that's going to explode around, and you don't feel as limited by these. The only option was add more projectile in a con. So yeah, I'm gonna see that. Ballistas. So yeah, we have these two new ballistas. Ballistas are basically the new ranged attack totems. Artillery looked really strong. From the video I saw, artillery honestly looks like it's going to be really good. I might play that. It looked like the most fun out of what they've announced. So looks pretty sweet. I mean, it's just going to be a rain of fucking fire down, and it's totems, so you're pretty safe. You can drop them and fuck off, and they do their thing. Their targeting AI seems pretty good too. So yeah, it seems strong. Now shrapnel to me is like the hidden. This is either going to be busted as fuck or like really weak, because the fact that they can the projectiles can shotgun.
Testing.
For newer people that haven't played PoE before the shotgunning remove, which was a number of years ago now, everything you used to do, like if you threw 3 fireballs and you were melee range, all 3 fireballs would hit the enemy and explode. So you'd essentially get 3 times the damage, and if you're like far away, you shoot 3 of them, and then like they split and only the middle one hits. This is now the only skill in the game that they are newly allowing to shotgun, because they removed all shotgun from players. Players could no longer shotgun skills because it was too strong. People would get like 8 projectiles stand right on top of you and then shoot you for 8 times the damage for essentially free, just like mild loss of multiplier per thing. But it's like, oh no, each projectile does 10% less, so I'm losing 10% damage off of hitting, instead of once I hit with 3 projectiles, but you're still tripling your damage. So like really you're gaining 290 instead of losing 10. So the fact that you can do this with Shrapnel Ballista, that it has a base of like 3 projectiles. Welcome back, Will. And the fact that you can still stack him with like jewels and stuff, I think Shrapnel Ballista has a very big potential for sleeper OP. Basically, all I said about support gem pluses was just I was happy that we were getting the next, like, kind of a next stage of progression, because like we'd hit 90, we'd get our gem caps, but then hey, here's some new gems that you can get, and you can start progressing again, essentially.
Yeah, so. I mean, I think they're fine. I mean, we have to see what they look like. Like I said, the ones they showed are really kind of boring to me. Like, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not like game changing. They're just better support gems.
Yeah, it's all they are. They're just better. It's like, cool. I get more cold damage.
Mm-hmm. The rare items, I mostly said that it was they look really cool. The mods are nice. It's good that they're like diluting the mod pool, but that it's like gonna be really fucking rare, and that like don't try to expect to have any of these under any reasonable circumstance, because you have to hit the appropriate mod on top of the already good base. It's like bringing crazy rares to a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
Then the bow rework, I just said that was kind of to be expected. I like
think we called that.
Yeah. I like Ensnaring Arrow. It's quite good. Barrage and Aranova are two nice supports to kind of offer some diversification to the already existing bow skills. So those are cool.
I wonder which skills did it get busted because of Barrage.
Probably a couple of them. Now ballistas were the ones that looked the most hype from the reveals that I saw. Artillery Ballista looked really strong. Like the targeting looked good, the damage looked good, it just looked overall powerful. And Shrapnel Ballista is like, to me, is what I was saying, is just, it's really got that all or nothing potential where it could be really shit, or it could be insanely fucking powerful because it's now has returned the only skill in the game that can shotgun.
Yeah, I mean, this is how I feel about it.
Range attack
It's
yeah,
like,
no, you can still use
these two
ballistas.
skills might be more impactful in 4.0 when you do have 8 6-links. Because that way you might be able to build a ballista only build. Like right now, even if you're using 2 6-links for both of them, like one on your bow and one on your chest. Like, I just don't know if it's all there compared to having like 8 6-links backing this up.
Too hot
Because
for
like
your
ballista
CPU.
damage is not that great.
Yeah, like they don't. Well, that's why Shrapnel Ballista I said is like I'm only expecting Shrapnel Ballista to go berserk with some sort of jewel stacking, like bullshit. Yeah, Will, as a clarification, the ballistas aren't. This is two new ballista skills, but the old range attack totem that you could support to stuff, it still exists. It's just it's called ballista now.
Yeah, just like the mine. What was the rework? Didn't they change some other fucking name? Like 1 or 2 leagues ago of an entire skill class.
Well, everybody started calling mines traps because they're just traps now.
Oh, that's a fact.
They changed Flame Totem to Holy Flame Totem, and it's just Flame Totem, but it's white.
Yes.
And
lose consecrated ground.
I don't think they changed anything else.
No, I'm thinking of brands. That's why when they added brands to the game.
Yeah, when they added brands, yeah. Or maybe like the cluster mine supporter or all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, they could be good. I think it's like we'll see. I mean, we have
I think you're right in that these will be very interesting in 4.0. But we're gonna leave that talk for when we do the 4.0 chat. Okay, so coming right up on thoughts on the gloves, we're getting to the powerful new items here, which is the last thing of the Atlas rework section. So first off, we have Mana Storm, which has this very interesting thing of when you cast a spell, sacrifice all mana to gain added maximum lightning damage equal to 25% of sacrifice mana for 4 seconds.
It's the Indigon Shield.
That's very interesting, but the most interesting part, it's only added maximum, meaning your min doesn't change. So all it does is your damage range on lightning, which is already high, which is like 1 to 300, is like, here's 1 to, fucking 2,000. But you can still roll the 1.
Doesn't matter, dude. Ball arc, dude. Lucky.
Yeah, damage is lucky, I guess, yeah. Mana Storm with Ball Arc. Damage is lucky.
You have to have a aura bot with, like, the toe.
Yeah, absolutely. Perkle's toe buff. But yeah, the Mana Storm is definitely your average goes up, but it's all over the place, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be because it's not min max; it's just max. It's gonna make your.
So this is now the shield for
more gambling.
Yeah, for the gambling heavy striker, where you go for the double down. What?
Yeah, it's true because it just says you have to cast a spell.
Yeah.
It never said, it has.
Oh, it's not lightning damage to spells. It's just lightning damage.
Just lightning damage.
You can pop, like, Orb of Storms.
Yeah, Orb of Storms. Lose all your mana, and then smash that fucker into the next universe. God, more Gamble Strike.
Gamble Strike, dude. Okay, now the gloves. The gloves are hilarious.
They're hilarious. That's all they are. It's just like
they are not good.
not terrible.
Except for that one pair that's gonna be fucking godly.
Yeah, it's the one asshole who hits it, who actually gets all 5.
But I love it. I love it because, yeah, it's great.
Just double corrupt him over and over again.
As Chris said, stop at 3.
No, dude, you go double corrupt 2 times.
Oh, but you're just gonna delete them the second time. I guess it doesn't matter.
It's either you get 4 or you get none. That's how it's meant to be.
But then you slam it for the 5th.
Yeah, then for the shits and giggles, you slam the 5th one on for no apparent reason.
Man. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, okay, so Will, just as an explanation, the whole point of this is it can be modified while corrupted, meaning you can use Vol Orbs on it. Honey, since I don't know if you've ever played PoE, Vol Orbs are essentially, it's like an item you can put on gear, so these are gloves. You use it on the gear and it will wildly modify it. It could destroy it, like it could just make it unusable, or it could add a stat, an implicit stat. And the thing here can have up to 5 implicit modifiers while item has this modifier. So basically the idea is normally, once you use this Vol Orb on an item, you can't modify it anymore. That's it. You're just, boom, you're done. It can never be modified again. This item can. You can keep on using Vol Orbs until you have 5 implicits. Technically, you could still Vol it when it has 5 implicits. Why would you? But the whole point is if you brick it, then you can't Vol it anymore. It's just gone. So it's always a gamble. Yeah, it also means you can divine it. It means you can use everything. It can be modified. You can jeweler it, you can change the colors, you can fusing it, you can whatever. Fusings still only around for another year and a half before they're gone. RIP fusings.
Goodbye, fusings.
But yeah, Sicker of the Sinless, boom boom, Bottle Fate, cool.
Cool. Another way to get that item, which is nice. It will actually be probably slightly more complicated.
Another way to get Scan of the Lords, cool.
Yeah.
Corrupted.
Like, how many people are fucking like Chirula? It's not that hard, but I guess it's the well. At least I didn't have to blow a blessing on it.
Mm-hmm. And Unleash of Ablation.
That belt's probably busted.
That belt is busted as fuck.
Like, it's just here, have every offering. It's
that
fine.
Belt, yeah, no, that belt is simply not balanced. Because you can scale duration extremely easily. 50% reduced duration is not a big deal. So yeah. Busted. Thank God they're probably going to divide every single minion damage by like 10.
Hopefully.
Okay, so that's Conquerors of the Atlas. Overall, I'm really happy about this. Good shit.
I mean, I was not expecting Conquerors. Like, I'll be honest.
No. I was expecting something like Metamorph. But yeah, not Conquerors.
Yeah, not like an entire rework of the Atlas.
It's really funny because they started with Conquerors and it was like, oh my god, this is so good. It's like, dude, this next league actually legit. And then they presented Metamorph. It's like, there's the disappointing content I was waiting for.
Like, it doesn't look terrible.
No, it doesn't look terrible, but it looks like a pretty simple league, right? It's just like kill some mobs, get some shit, fuse them together, have this cool animation, murder him, and move on. It's not a lot of, depth or complication. It's nowhere near this fucking Conquerors shit.
No, I mean, this league, I feel like it's going to be try to hit the meter, get it to full, you win.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get onto this Metamorph stuff. Feels like another failure league we were talking about the other night. Well, it's more like a league accompanying the expansion. But yeah, before it's same as Talisman, God, shoot me. The only thing I'd be happy about for Talisman is if it's the same challenge awards. Okay, so you've got Backburn, Lunging Strike, Fire Breath, and Flame Crack. God, that just sounds like a mix of conditions and fucking assholes being on fire. Yeah, so we've got this, like, bar that we fill by putting in pieces. Also, it seems like these can be tied to specific rewards. Like, if you look at the first image, the Flame Crack has, like, a currency symbol. It's like a little Chaos Orb. So probably putting some of these, like, you could see another one there that has this generic item box.
Yeah. The cannibal's lung.
Yeah, and then it spawns these black dudes that morph around and do these special abilities, and one of them's Shaper somehow. So yeah, that's kind of cool. The quality mods is very interesting, especially for crafting, because of how they explained that when you use a crafting item on a piece of jewelry that has a implicit like quality modifier, it will use up the quality, but give you. It seemed to say higher chance, but then they kind of also felt like they were saying it was guaranteed. So I'm not sure, but I'm gonna assume higher chance to get a mod of that type. So like the caster modifier, if you like slam this, you're gonna get a caster thing. This is especially interesting in conjunction with the fact that we're getting the new exalted orbs.
Oh yeah,
we might manipulate those.
Oh no, I think like these like quality things are going to be absolutely ridiculous. The problem is you're going to need so many of them. Mm-hmm. So depending on how common these are is what's really going to determine everything.
Well, don't forget, for crafting, you only need 4.
Well, that's if you're going for a white and then you're just going to fucking bet the farm on it. Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? That's the thing. That's what's interesting is that it's like you got that trade-off. Do you want to craft your own item and try to... what I'm really going to be interested to see is this the first metacrafting pointer that is actually going to interact with other metacrafting pointers, such as essences or fossils? Because for now, fossils and essences were in their own category. They didn't interact with anything else that, locked, like the metacraft locks. Will this be interesting? I don't know. Anyway. Overall, it's still just like basically pick the stat of your jewelry which is most important and just have 20% more of it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's really good for... The weird thing is, depending on it, the stat ones, like the pure stat ones, are really powerful. Because you're talking about 20% of 30, you're looking at, what, 6 more? So that's 36?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to less than 5, it's probably going to be 4 on a turquoise. Because it would be technically 2.4, be like 4.8.
Yeah.
And then, like, Onyx is like, lol. So that's just getting, like, 2.
Well, it's getting 6. It's getting 2 of each. Getting 6.
Well, yeah, you're getting 6 total.
So you're getting the same as you would from a 30.
Usually you don't want... Like, usually one's going to be a dead stat.
How many are there? We're not
like
sure.
Dex 1, 2, 3, 4, usually.
5,
usually
6,
it's
7.
Dex.
Seems like 7 there.
Like, once you hit a certain amount of Dex, you don't care about Dex anymore. Or, like, if you're an int base, 2 int is not...
There's none here behind.
Probably worth it over getting...
There's no piles.
More strength. Symbols. Now, if you think about, like... I'm trying to think, what are the other bases where this might be useful?
So, one thing I could see this opening is for very unique heavy builds. Because you know how you can have that, like... dual stat res ring that then has, like, 150 res on it. Because you just roll, like, tri-res... double, like the 16 res implicit, and you just kind of have that ring that just gives you that. I feel like having a ring just being able to go from like 150 to what would it be, like an extra 30, so like 180, just that free 30 res is essentially like a T2 T3 res roll additionally. That would be really big for just freeing up what is essentially potentially another slot. Yeah, you can 20% more res quality. You have resistance. We know we have resistances, life and mana, and caster. We're going to assume you have attack. What other could it be? Probably energy shield.
Probably.
So that's 5. Then maybe some sort of armor evasion. And I don't know what the 7th would be. You got spells, you got attacks, you got maybe one of them is armor and one of them is evasion, because then you have armor, evasion, and energy shield, so you don't have all of them. No, chaos would fall under spell or attack, depending on probably spell. What's going to be interesting here is to see what all the weird mods that kind of fit in multiple categories fall. Like, what's crit multi? Does it get affected by both or by neither?
Probably neither. I'm guessing.
It's
Like
possible.
maybe it's attack. I don't actually know.
What's gain fizz damage is extra fire damage?
Is caster?
So affected by both?
Mm-hmm. So I used jagged, and that's why the foil recipe was jagged and etheric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, it's. I think it's just going to be very interesting because I feel like. Also, another thing that like the first thing I thought of this is, you know what I really want with these? I want those rings or amulets or whatever. They have an absurdly high stat of a thing because of how they are. Like, I want to put this on my Mark of the Shaper with 100% increased spell damage. Because that's just 20% increased spell damage, but just qualitying it. Yeah, next league is looking bows. Obviously, we're waiting on patch notes, but next league is really looking like a bow thing. They're just adding so many bow things, and they really presented bows as wanting to be strong. Anyway. Okay, in terms of endgame, metamorph, sample from map bosses, yeah. Get some big encounters, kill some big dudes, get some big loot. We don't really have a lot of details of that. It's just like we're gonna have some league specific uniques, which we have not had anything spoiled yet, but we'll probably have stuff spoiled later. Do you have anything else you want to add in terms of metamorph?
No. I look forward to killing Malaval Shaper Elder.
Cool, me too.